Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be swatching 5 inks I completely forgot I even had for the longest time because they came as free samples from Goldspot with a sailor pen that was on one of their sales. The reason I forgot about them because they'd been basically, hanging out in this like cup of like mostly, cartridges and some eyedroppers and pen paraphernalia and such like that. They were like right around the ring at the bottom, and I believe, yeah, there's also might be an eraser or something in there. So, out of sight, out of mind, I completely forgot I had them. And I'm not saying this is a bash against Sailor, of course not. They have great products, but I had been kind of, like, reticent about the idea of getting any full bottles of their ink for myself, even a sample vial for like $2 or whatever, or exchange with another pen friend, because based on many of the swatches I had seen online and people sharing in their videos and like photos on like various social media websites like YouTube and Reddit and such, many of their colors, they just seemed like way too like light for my own personal style. I like ink colors and shades and hues that are really, really like bright, like eye-popping, super easy to read back, very like good and realistic and practical. But I ended up falling in love recently with a one of the samples I got for my birthday this past year. This was Sailor Shikiori Kasasagi. I loved it so much I had to get a full bottle when they had a recent great ink sale, surprise ink sale on Pen Boutique. This is it looks black on many papers, but it's actually a very, very deep kind of like foresty green type of mossy green type of color. But since I like this ink so much, hey, why not take a chance and finally already do it, like not swap out, swatch out these colors. They're I believe two or three of them are blues, two of them are purples, and like one might be more of the like tealy slash greeny side. So, and hopefully I'm not going to knock anything over. This is very like precarious, these like little bottles. I'm going to start with what I'm pretty sure is the lightest one. Which order did I put them in? The Sailor Haha. I've seen like so many like photos and people even complaining about it online. Oh, it's so pretty, and other people's calligraphy or the swatches make it look great, but it's like borderline unreadable. It's just so pale blue. And I actually wrote with it, so maybe many things do depend on the kind of paper you're using, in addition to, of course, the nib size. But I'm just going to see what it looks like. Maybe I will have a different opinion about it when I actually see what it looks like on the cardstock and the way I'm writing with it. And I have like the water next to me, and I have 3 different paintbrushes just in case they need, different colors too. Like I don't want to like, get too much of like the wrong color on the paintbrush and then it bleeds through into the next sample. Put that well out of the way so I do not knock it over by mistake. Is the light good enough? Yeah, I know this is not the best swatching workspace. Yeah, that's definitely light blue. It's pretty safe to say already. Oh, and I see a nice kind of pink sheen slash shading effect breaking through. But as pretty as this ink is, it's just not the kind of thing I probably would want to write with unless like it absolutely had the perfect, papers kind of stock and the right nib size. But I really do like this like really pretty pink shading. It does make me understand why so many people do like this. And I know this is a haha, no, not haha, that's the name of the ink, a Manyo ink. I didn't look up the particular types of inks before I started, but like, guess that's not really important. The most important thing to put on the swatch card is like the main actual name of the ink. That's all I'll need to like put into the search field if I like them enough to, want to buy a full bottle for myself online. But yeah, this is definitely lovely. Pink and kind of pale purple lavender things are breaking through, but again, I'm pretty sure this isn't the kind of ink I would want to write with myself, and make very sure I'm not going to knock this over by mistake, even though I do have a syringe at hand to suck it up and put it right back in the bottle. Sailor. And haha. So I don't have any nasty surprises with a huge ink spot. Manu, Sailor Manu, haha. Yeah, that's definitely very, very light. It's It's not, you know, like near invisible type of light blue, but, you know, still not really probably what I would be interested in doing. And it's such a short name. I can actually fit it all on the bottom line instead of having to write just the name on the bottom and the brand on the top. Ha. Yeah, if you like shading it, I can definitely see why this would appeal to you, but again, very light pastel shades are like not my personal jam at all, no matter how like attractive the colors are. And of course, I don't doubt the quality of the companies, you know, the quality control or just like their beautiful artsy stuff. Let's of course turn this around and let's see what the next ink up is going to be. This is Hawaii is purple, so I'm going to save that for another brush. And Nekoyanagi is also purple, which looks like Souboku. It either like dried up slightly over time, although it was sealed, you know, the entire time it's been in the vial, or maybe they just put in slightly less by like mistake. And this Sailor Yomogi, it looks, yeah, kind of on the teal, so I'm going to go ahead and try Souboku and see what color that turns out. Yeah, that looks kind of like darkish when I'm opening it up. Let's dab off the brush first. I promise I will get like a more professional looking workspace eventually, but you know, right now I have to like work within my, you know, limitations. And you know, if people think the content of the videos, my presentation style is good enough to overlook it and not think I'm an amateurish hack just like grabbing a camera and not caring what the things look like, you know, that's great. So get that in there. This is Souboku. Make sure I do not knock that over. I don't want any nasty surprises. Oh, that's very dark. Wow, this is like a really nice blue-black. Maybe I would get a full bottle of this next time there's a sale with Sailor inks. This is great, just my kind of color. But maybe it'll dry up a little bit lighter. You can't really say, oh yeah, this is awesome the very first time you swatch or write with it. I think that's missing from many like pen and ink videos, and I can totally understand that myself, having been there and done that. Oh yeah, I just started writing with it. No, not going to even bother to do a part 2 segment or like a follow-up in like another like month or 3 months or whatever to see how I like that long term after the like, great euphoria of the initial, yeah, I love this, wears off. But yeah, this is, I'm really, and it looks like I'm seeing kind of like a purpley undertone slightly breaking through. This is really, really nice. But of course, depending on how it actually writes in a pen, you know, that would be the final decision. Wow, this is really nice. I'm sorry I waited so long to dig into this little sample bottle. This is just my kind of shade of blue. Just wipe off the dip pen. I probably need some more professional kind of dip pens like the Kakimori lots of people seem to be using. Can't let that out of my sight for a minute. I have to like hold it with both hands so there's no embarrassing mistakes on camera. Souboku. Sailor. Yeah, I'm really liking that. And I don't want to make sure I don't misspell anything. And look, yeah, Souboku, that's the correct spelling. Boku, that's right. Wow, I love this ink so much, and it looks kind of like a purpley blue as well. I'm definitely going to be getting a full bottle of this because I know Sailor inks can be kind of expensive. That's another big reason I've not really bought any until just this recently. But wow, it definitely, yeah, this is absolutely, I'm like, sound like a broken record, but this video is unscripted. It's like just night and day. This is like so pale, like bluish baby pink. And this is, just, yeah, definitely very legible and readable. So this is Yomogi, which looks kind of like the teal. And I'm saving a different brush for the two purples. I should probably use a separate brush for this because it is, you know, on the green spectrum. Don't want any cross-contamination of colors or anything like that. So, Yomogi. Have to look up afterwards what they mean in Japanese. Yomogi. Careful not to upset that. Oh, that is... It's not... Yeah, that's definitely a tealy color. It's kind of like... It looked like it was going down blue at first, but now, yeah, this is definitely obvious teal. I think I would love to get a full bottle of this, too. I really regret not tearing into these much sooner, definitely. Yeah, this teal is my third favorite color. Wow, this is great. And it has, like, and if you're not into, like, super, like, merging on green types of teal, this could be, like, a great choice for you, too. And it's, like, of course, like, as I get, like, as it starts to dry up on the brush, of course, it naturally appears a bit lighter. But, wow, this is, like, really a lovely, eye-popping type of color. And another thing that holds me back from getting some inks, they look great in the swatches, but I think maybe it wouldn't look really that great in person, or the kinds of papers and inks I'm using. I'm sorry if my throat is getting scratchy. I don't want to do this video in multiple takes. Let me just put that down. That's enough. I just love painting with these inks. Just wipe off the nib. This is Yomogi. Yomogi. Yeah, they included five different types of blues because it was a blue pen. So, Yomogi. This looks similar to Pilot Iroshizuku's Kujaku, which means peacock in Japanese. I'm going to have to see, as I said, what this particularly means in Japanese. One of these days I really would like to, get back to learning the Japanese language. It's so, like, beautiful and ancient. Sailor. This is great. So already two full bottles I definitely will be putting on my inky wish list. This is totally awesome. And for the last two, which I know are purple shades, I will be using a third brush. And again, no coloring cross-contamination desired. I believe Neko, I think both of them are fairly light purples from what I've seen in swatches online, but I believe Nekoyanagi is the paler of them, but of course we're going to see that when it comes out. Is this in the light? I should probably move those out of the way so I have, like, front and center. It's better. I really am, like, trying to get deliberately, like, consciously, like, better at making my videos. I am aware, I'm sorry if that cough in the background is picking up on camera. I'm, like, aware of how I look on camera, but, like, becoming a YouTuber, it's like a journey for everybody. We don't, like, immediately know everything to do and the best way to do it. Yeah, this is definitely a very light violet purple. I'm pretty sure I would not be getting this in a full bottle, like maybe for an art ink if I were, like, doing a subject that had lots of pastels, but this is not my style at all for the kinds of inks I prefer actually writing with, which is supposed to be the main purpose of inks. But it's great shading properties. If you're into very light pastel shades, yeah, I can see why you would, like this. I know it's one of them. I'm really sorry that cough is picking up in the background on the camera, but I can see if you're into pastels, what this would appeal to you. And it does have really great, like, shading properties, but again, not really my, like, personal style at all. But A+ for effort. Sailor has so many, like, great products. Just rinse off the dip. And I know many other people seem to have a much more, like, not balanced, just, like, organized setup. They, like, it's over here and it's over here, and they, like, immediately rinse it off. Maybe I'm just using the wrong types of dip pens for my videos. Nekoyanagi, so I don't make any mistakes in the spelling. That would be embarrassing, particularly on camera. Nekoyanagi. Pulling up. Yeah, that's definitely still pale as I'm starting to write. Nekoyanagi. Always have to double and triple check when you're spelling a name you're not familiar with. Neko. Oh, it's already starting to get pale. I have to dip it again. That's another annoying thing about using dip pens. Nagi. This does feel kind of more like a drier sort of ink. And I'm particularly surprised, like, Sailor seems to make so many lighter shades of ink, like Haha and Nekoyanagi, because Japanese pens, they run about a size smaller than the average, like, Western pen. So, like, what again are they using it? Are they actually seeing it in an ultra extra fine type of like, Japanese pen? I'd really like to know the answer to that one. Do I need another? Looks like I might need another dip. I really am hoping to get some more like storage solutions and stuff, and more, but maybe better editing, so I can look more professional when I do these like swatching types of videos. That's the reason I decided to just go gangbusters and like pretty much swatch all the rest of my inks off camera, so I don't have to, like take so much time making and editing videos. It's a lovely shade, my favorite color, but again, like, I'm not into like baby pastel types of colors. And now we're going to do the final ink, Sailor Hawaii. They have a whole lineup of inks named after U.S. states. Just put that up there, and it's a good thing they're all capped when they're like falling down and getting knocked over on such a tiny, small, tight workspace. Which I used a really big paintbrush for that one. It's easier to rinse off the dip pen, although it does need a thorough cleaning. I'm sure stuff is like sneaking up inside of the gears of the pen. Which pen is it's the 10 gauge. I mean, the 10 millimeter pen, which is equivalent to a 00 gauge. From about years past that, quite some time ago. Let's see. And Hawaii, make sure the screen is still on. Hawaii. Let's see how pale this is. It looked pretty pale in the swatches I saw online. Let's see this. Slightly darker, but again, not too much. I'm pretty sure I would not want an entire bottle of this, but I'll have to use it up somehow. Maybe a super, super broad or a stub nib. And looks like I am seeing some shading properties. Yeah, definitely there's pink peeking through, but like, are these meant to be used in like broad and zoom in music nibs in Japan? Because you definitely probably couldn't read them very legibly in the average extra fine, or even like a medium, maybe a broad, it would look somewhat more legible. But even in Japan, like, their broads are more like our mediums, but it's a really pretty color. Just seems more like it would be suitable to making art. But I am definitely liking this color. I just wish it weren't quite so pale, maybe just a shade or 2 or 3 lighter, and it would be, totally perfect for writing. I am really enjoying the shading properties. This is just Hawaii. It's an easy name to spell, obviously. It's not a Japanese word I'm just like seeing for the first time or not really familiar with. Hawaii. Ooh, that's definitely pale. Hawaii. Hawaii. And that's Sailor. Oh, I'll need another dip already. I think that seems like the Kakimori nibs hold a lot more ink when people are using them because of like the particular shape and size of them. Maybe I should look into getting one of those for myself as well. This is so light and pale. Did I get enough any ink into there? Let's see. Hopefully that'll hold it. Just need to write the rest of the word. Yeah, it's okay. Just go over it so it doesn't like show up too like pale and dry and washed out. It is, you know, shading again in the writing, but pretty sure I would not like want this ink, like a whole bottle of it for myself after I'm done with the sample. I just couldn't see myself ever voluntarily wanting to reach for something this light and pale and pastel-y unless it were for a very specific purpose or for artwork. Now I'm just going to turn all of them around so they, you know, get in view of the camera. I really also would like to get a tripod overhead for filming when I finally get over my insecurities about feeling like, oh, these reviews are just so conflicting, and I don't know like if I should believe this is awesome or if it like failed almost immediately. So yeah, the Hawaii and Nekoyanagi, they look very similar. It's only a very subtle difference. So this is the Manyo Haha. Definitely would not get a full bottle of this. It's just way too light. Nekoyanagi would not get a full bottle. It's beautiful color. I love A for effort, creativity, and I love the purple, of course, and the lovely shading. And all of these, I would probably not be getting a full bottle. And the Sailor Hawaii, probably not getting a full bottle of that one either. It's just so freaking light. The Sailor Souboku, this is definitely getting a full bottle of this. It's a great blue-black, but I already have like so many other blues and blue-blacks, like of course not for like a while. In the Sailor Yomogi, this is definitely getting a full bottle. I also have a number of teals and greens, like quite a few of them, but so again, this probably wouldn't be like one of my like top of the list to get, particularly because the Diamond Black Inkvet Edition full-size bottles are finally coming out soon, and I can't wait to get some of those, add them to the collection. So thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know in the comments, what are your own personal favorite Sailor inks? Do you like any of these inks? Have you like heard of these colors? Do you not like them because they're so light? What are your tips and tricks if you do personally use lighter Sailor inks in like pens that are not like double broads or whatever? So just some thanks very much for watching. I will see you soon. Bye.